The lore of the Chinese zodiac. The rat is the first animal in the Chinese zodiac from the years 1984 to 2022, and that fact alone tells you everything about its reputation. It's cunning, resourceful, shamelessly opportunistic, and somehow always a step ahead. According to the old story, the Jade Emperor invited all the animals to a great race across a river to determine their place in the zodiac cycle. The rat, small and apparently doomed, outwitted the competition by convincing the ox to let it ride on its back. Then, leaping off at the last moment to claim first place, that's rat energy distilled. No brute strength, no flashy presence, just a sharp brain and impeccable timing. Across cultures, rats carry a split personality. On one hand, they're survivors, trying, bleh. They're survivors thriving in cities, sewers, fields, anywhere human civilization pops up. On the other hand, they're maligned as pests, carriers of plague, symbols of betrayal. They live in the shadows of our kitchens and our myths, yet in Chinese lore, the rat isn't simply a dirty scavenger. It represents fertility, wealth, and quick wit. A household with rats was often considered blessed with abundance because if the rats could find food there, so could the people. The rat also embodies beginnings. Being first in the zodiac makes it the herald of new cycles, an animal that knows how to slip through cracks and find openings where others see dead ends. Its lore is about strategy, survival, and adaptability, which is why those born under its sign are often described as clever, charming, and let's be honest, a little manipulative. The rat's wisdom is not grand or heroic, but sly, practical, street smart. It wins not by fighting, but by scheming. The deeper lore paints the rat as a reminder that life is rarely fair. The strong ox should have had first place. The majestic dragon could have dominated the race, but the rat, small and underestimated, knew that the world doesn't always reward might. It rewards timing, nerve, and audacity. That lesson has echoed across centuries in folk tales and business metaphors, and in the way entire cultures both despise and secretly admire the rat. In the end, the rat is both a trickster and a teacher. It whispers that survival is an art form and that intelligence can outmaneuver brute force, and that there is no shame in being crafty if it keeps you alive. Its lore isn't about glory, it's about grit, and maybe that's why the rat still scurries through our imagination. A tiny, clever survivor outwitting extinction one scamper's step at a time. Ox lore from the years 1985 to 2021. In the grand tale of the Chinese zodiac, the ox stands as the archetype of patience, strength, and endurance. It is the second animal in the cycle, a placement earned through both diligence and a painful lesson in betrayal. According to legend, when the Jade Emperor declared that a race across a river would decide the order of the zodiac animals, the ox quickly became the front runner with its massive body, steady pace, and tireless strength. It was the clear champion. The ox was not flashy like the dragon, nor sly like the rat. It simply trudged forward with quiet persistence. Yet at the final moment, the rat, who'd been riding unnoticed on the ox's broad back, leapt ahead and claimed first place. Thus, the ox was cheated out of its rightful victory, securing second place instead of first. This story captures the duality of the ox's lore. On one hand, it is celebrated as a symbol of hard work, reliability, and resilience. The ox is the farmer's ally, the beast that tills the fields and ensures survival. It is associated with the earth element, fertility, and the cycles of labor that sustain life. People born in the year of the ox are said to embody these qualities of being dependable, patient, and grounded, though sometimes stubborn to a fault. On the other hand, the ox's defeat in the zodiac race is a reminder that diligence alone does not always bring glory. Strength without cunning can be outmaneuvered. In this sense, the ox becomes a symbol of quiet nobility, working not for recognition, but because the work must be done. It is persistence without vanity, service without spectacle. Culturally, the ox has long been revered in Chinese tradition. As a sacrificial animal, it was offered to gods and ancestors, its spirit believed to bridge the human and divine. In agrarian society, the ox embodies survival itself, yoked to the plow that fed families and shaped civilizations. Festivals, proverbs, and folk art celebrate its patient labor and endurance spirit. Ultimately, the lore of the ox is about strength harnessed with humility. While the rat may have stolen the spotlight, the ox remains the backbone of the zodiac, a reminder that true power is not always loud, quick, or clever, but steady, enduring, and indispensable. Tiger, 1986 to 2022. The tiger is the third animal in the Chinese zodiac, a creature of raw power, fiery courage, and unyielding spirit. Where the rat represents cunning and the ox symbolizes endurance, the tiger embodies vitality and fearlessness, the force that charges into danger without hesitation. In the zodiac race, the tiger's strength was undeniable. With its muscles and ferocity, it was expected to finish first. Yet when it leapt into the river, the current swept it downstream. Only through sheer determination did the tiger claw its way back, emerging on shore in third place, panting but victorious in its own way. This story defines the tiger's essence, bravery in the face of overwhelming odds, the will to push forward no matter how fierce the struggle. Culturally, the tiger has always held a sacred place in Chinese tradition. It is seen as the king of beasts, ruler of the mountain and forest, and a guardian against evil. In folklore, the tiger's roar drives away demons, and its striped fur is said to carry the Chinese character for king across its forehead. Ancient warriors painted tigers on their armor and banners to invoke its ferocity, while common households placed tiger talismans to protect children from harm. The tiger zodiac personality mirrors this lore. Those born under its sign are said to be brave, ambitious, and charismatic, though often impulsive and headstrong. Tigers are natural leaders, but their intensity can burn too hot, leading them into reckless battles, both literal and metaphorical. They are admired for their courage, yet sometimes feared for their unpredictability. More than anything, the tiger represents the eternal struggle between might and control. Its story is not about winning easily, but about fighting against the current and refusing to yield. It reminds us that true power is not measured by placement in a race, but by the will to keep clawing forward even when the river tries to drag us under. The tiger is not just an animal in the zodiac, it is a living symbol of defiance, the embodiment of the roar inside humanity that refuses to be silenced. Rabbit, 1987 to 2023. The rabbit, fourth in the cycle of the Chinese zodiac, is the emblem of grace, gentleness, and cleverness cloaked in quietude. Unlike the brute strength of the ox or the raw fire of the tiger, the rabbit embodies subtlety, soft but resilient, cautious yet swift. Its lore tells us what survival is not always about force, but about vigilance, diplomacy, and an ability to move with elegance through danger. In the zodiac race, the rabbit earned its place not by brute might, but by agility and ingenuity. 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 Sorry, guys, I have dyslexia. Some tales say the rabbit, too small to swim across the great river, leaped from stone to stone, skillfully avoiding the current. When it faltered and nearly fell, a log or a gust of wind carried it safely across, securing its place as the fourth animal. The rabbit's success came not from overpowering others, but from its resourcefulness and the blessings of chance. Symbolically, the rabbit is tied to the moon in Chinese culture. In folklore, the jade rabbit lives on the lunar surface, pounding herbs for immortality in the company of the moon goddess Change. To look at the moon and see the rabbit's silhouette is to glimpse both mystery and quiet magic, a reminder that the rabbit's power lies not in ferocity, but in almost otherworldly grace. In traditional belief, the rabbit wards off misfortune and brings peace. Its gentleness does not imply weakness, instead, it reflects wisdom in avoiding unnecessary conflict. People born under the rabbit are thought to be compassionate, artistic, and sensitive, though sometimes overly cautious or reluctant to face hardship head on. They embody refinement, diplomacy, and an instinct of harmony. Ultimately, the rabbit's lore offers a counterpoint to the fiery drive of other zodiac animals. It teaches that sometimes the most enduring strength is not found in claws or muscle, but in subtlety, awareness, and the ability to move through the world quietly, gracefully, and with eyes always attuned to both danger and beauty. The Dragon, 1988 to 2024. The dragon is the only mythical creature in the Chinese zodiac, and its place in the cycle is one of awe, mystery, and paradox. Fifth in line, the dragon represents power, authority, and divine force, qualities so great that it remains one of the most revered animals in Chinese culture. While every other zodiac animal is rooted in the natural world, the dragon alone belongs to legend, making it both an outsider and a symbol of transcendence. In the tale of the zodiac race, many expected the dragon to win easily. After all, it could soar across the river with wings and command the elements. But instead of claiming first place, the dragon arrived fifth. Why? The story says the dragon, on its way to the finish, stopped to bring rain to farmers and villagers suffering from drought, and even helped the rabbit by blowing a gust of wind that carried it safely across the river. The dragon then did not lose out of weakness. It chose to act with compassion, placing duty above glory. Culturally, the dragon has always been more than a creature of myth. It embodies the emperor's mandate, the balance of heaven and earth, and the raw, uncontainable energy of nature. Unlike the fire-breathing destroyer of Western lore, the Chinese dragon is a benevolent celestial guardian, ruler of rivers, storms, and prosperity. It is a creature of majesty, feared and worshipped not for destruction, but for its ability to bless. People born under the sign of the dragon are said to be bold, charismatic, and ambitious. They carry the aura of leaders, often inspiring admiration or envy. Yet, like the creature itself, their greatness can come with contradictions. They may be idealistic to the point of arrogance, passionate but restless, capable of immense good, yet prone to chasing glory. The lore of the dragon reminds us that true power does not always mean racing ahead to win. It means knowing when to pause, when to give, when to wield strength with restraint. To be the dragon is to embody both majesty and responsibility, the fire of ambition tempered by the wisdom of compassion. If you guys are enjoying the video so far, please give us a like. Give us a comment below on what your Chinese zodiac sign is. Year of the Snake, 1989 to 2025. The snake, sixth in the cycle of the Chinese zodiac, is a creature wrapped in mystery, wisdom, and transformation. Where some animals represent obvious traits like strength or speed, the snake embodies subtler forces, intuition, cunning, and an ability to shed the old and be reborn. It is both revered and feared, a duality reflected in folklore across cultures. In the story of the zodiac race, the snake used its quiet cunning to slip ahead of the horse, hiding in the horse's hoof or beneath its mane. The tales differ. It startled the larger animal at the last moment and slithered into sixth place. This trick mirrors the snake's essence, small but clever, underestimated until it strikes with precision. Culturally, the snake in Chinese tradition is not the villainous tempter of Western lore, but a symbol of intelligence, elegance, and even spiritual insight. Snakes were often associated with the earth's hidden forces, fertility, and the cycles of life and death. Their ability to shed their skin made them emblems of renewal and immortality. In Taoist tradition, serpentine imagery is linked to transformation and the flow of energy through the body. Those born under the snake are said to be deep thinkers, charming, wise, and often secretive. They see beneath the surface of things and are skilled at strategy and persuasion, yet their gifts come with a shadow. They can be suspicious, possessive, or overly calculating, always coiling their thoughts around hidden motives. The lore of the snake is a reminder of subtle power. It does not roar like the tiger or soar like the dragon. Instead, it waits, watches, and strikes at the perfect moment. The snake whispers that strength lies not in noise or size, but in patience, perception, and the willingness to transform. Year of the Horse, 1990 to 2026. The horse, seventh in the cycle of the zodiac sign. I totally just flabbergasted there. The horse, seventh in the cycle of the Chinese zodiac, gallops in as a symbol of freedom, energy, and relentless motion. Where the snake is subtle and secretive, the horse is bold and untamed, living in open spaces and thriving on movement. Its lore celebrates vitality, adventure, and the restless pursuit of horizons. In the story of the zodiac race, the horse nearly finished sixth. With its powerful legs, it surged ahead and seemed destined for an easy place in the order. Yet, just as it approached the finish line, the snake, which had been hiding beneath its hoof or mane, startled it. The horse reared back in fright, giving the snake the edge and landing itself in seventh place. The tale highlights not just the horse's speed and strength, but also its impulsive, sometimes easily startled nature. Culturally, the horse has long been a companion and symbol of civilization's expansion. It represents independence and freedom, but also loyalty and service. In Chinese tradition, the horse is admired as a noble creature, one that carries people into battle, travel, and discovery. Its image is tied to progress, victory, and the restless human desire to move forward. Those born under the horse are said to be energetic, enthusiastic, and social. They are natural adventurers, rarely content to stay in one place. Charismatic and open, they often draw others to them, but their restless spirits can also make them impatient, inconsistent, or quick to bolt when commitment looms. Like the animal itself, horse personalities crave wide horizons and open roads. The lore of the horse ultimately speaks to a vital truth. Life is a journey, and it is not meant to be lived standing still. To be the horse is to embody the wind in one's mane, the fire of motion in one's heart, and the unshakable desire to run towards something greater, no matter how far the path stretches. Year of the Goat, 1991 to 2027. The goat, eighth in the cycle of the Chinese zodiac, represents peace, compassion, and creativity. Unlike the fiery drive of the horse or the cunning of the snake, the goat's power lies in gentleness and sensitivity. It is a creature that thrives in herds, finding strength in community and harmony rather than force. In the legend of the zodiac race, the goat, along with the monkey and the rooster, faced difficulty crossing the great river. Rather than competing ruthlessly, the three worked together. The rooster found a raft, the monkey cleared the weeds, and the goat steered them safely across. Because of this cooperative spirit, the emperor rewarded their teamwork, placing them 8th, ninth, and 10th respectively in the zodiac order. The goat's place, then, is a testament not to speed or trickery, but to collaboration and quiet resilience. In Chinese tradition, the goat has long been a symbol of peace and kindness. It is associated with the sacrifice, as goats were often offered in rituals to honor ancestors and deities. Its image is linked to gentleness, nurturing, and artistic expression. The goat is also connected to luck and abundance, with its presence thought to bring prosperity to households and communities. People born under the goat are said to be compassionate, creative, and deeply attuned to beauty. They are natural artists, dreamers, and healers, guided more by intuition than logic. Yet, like the animal itself, they can also be timid, indecisive, or overly dependent on others. Their strength lies not in confrontation, but in the quiet courage of empathy and imagination. The lore of the goat reminds us that not all victories come from force or cunning. Sometimes survival and success depend on gentleness, cooperation, and the ability to nurture harmony. To be the goat is to carry softness as strength, to value peace over power, and to find beauty even amid struggle. Year of the Monkey, 1992 to 2028. The monkey, ninth in the cycle of the Chinese zodiac, is a symbol of wit, curiosity, and mischievous charm. Unlike the steady ox or the noble dragon, the monkey thrives on chaos, creativity, and cleverness. Its lore is not about brute force or patience, but about using intelligence, humor, and adaptability to navigate life's challenges. In the zodiac race, the monkey faced the same challenge as the goat and the rooster, crossing the great river. Instead of competing alone, the three animals combined their efforts. The rooster found a raft, the goat steadied it, and the monkey cleared away weeds and obstacles, ensuring their safe passage. For their teamwork, the Jade Emperor placed them in consecutive order: goat 8th, monkey 9th, rooster 10th. The monkey's role in the story highlights ingenuity and resourcefulness, using brains over brawn to find a way forward. Culturally, the monkey is one of the most beloved figures in Chinese tradition. It embodies playfulness, quick thinking, and invention. Folklore often portrays monkeys as tricksters able to outwit stronger or more rigid opponents. The most famous example is Sun Wukong, the Monkey King from Journey to the West, who possesses immense strength and magical powers, yet whose greatest weapon is his cunning. He represents rebellion against authority and the cleverness to break free from limitations. People born in the year of the monkey are said to be intelligent, curious, and magnetic. They thrive in social settings and can charm almost anyone. Though their restless energy sometimes makes them unreliable or prone to mischief, their greatest strength lies in adaptability. Monkeys can turn chaos into opportunity, solving problems with creativity and humor. The lore of the monkey reminds us that intelligence comes in many forms. It teaches that laughter, cunning, and imagination can carry us as far as strength or patience. To be the monkey is to embody curiosity, to find joy even in adversity, and to treat life not as a burden, but as a game waiting to be played. This is my Chinese zodiac year of the rooster, 1981 to 2017. The rooster, 10th in the cycle of the Chinese zodiac, is a symbol of confidence, vigilance, and flamboyant pride. It struts into the zodiac not with brute force or cunning tricks, but with clarity, precision, and a touch of theatrical flair. Where other animals embody quiet endurance or slight cunning, the rooster is unapologetically loud, colorful, and commanding of attention. In the story of the zodiac race, the rooster joined forces with the goat and the monkey to overcome the challenge of crossing the great river. The rooster spotted a raft, the monkey cleared the way, and the goat guided them safely to shore. Together they arrived as a group and were rewarded with consecutive places: goat 8th, monkey 9th, and rooster 10th. The rooster's place reflects teamwork, but also his keen eye for opportunity. Culturally, the rooster has deep symbolic meaning in Chinese tradition. Known for greeting the dawn, it represents punctuality, honesty, and the dispelling of darkness. Its crowing is said to drive away evil spirits, making it a natural guardian figure. At the same time, its bright plumage and proud strut link it to vanity and showmanship, embodying the dual edge of confidence and arrogance. Those born under the rooster are believed to be observant, articulate, and hardworking. They are natural organizers, often striving for perfection and unwilling to let details slip. Yet their sharpness can also make them blunt or overly critical, and their flair to presentation can sometimes veer into vanity. Still, their ability to see clearly and speak boldly is respected. The lore of the rooster ultimately speaks to clarity and self expression. It teaches that vigilance and honesty can illuminate the path forward, and that confidence, though sometimes brash, is a vital force in dispelling doubt. To be the rooster is to rise with the dawn, to face the world unafraid of being seen or heard, and to embody the bright spark that drives away the shadows. Year of the Dog, 1982 to 2018. The dog, the 11th in the cycle of the Chinese zodiac, is a symbol of loyalty, honesty, and guardianship. Unlike some of the more cunning or flamboyant animals, the dog is valued for its constancy and its unwavering devotion. In a zodiac full of tricksters and schemers, the dog represents trustworthiness and the kind of steady companionship that endures through hardship. In the story of the zodiac race, the dog's placement at 11th may seem surprising. After all, the dog is a capable swimmer and it could have crossed the river with ease, but according to legend, the dog became distracted along the way, lingering in the water to play and bathe, enjoying itself too much to care about winning. By the time it finally reached the finish line, most of the other animals had already arrived, leaving it with the second to last position. The story highlights both the dog's playful nature and its tendency to prioritize joy and loyalty over ambition. Culturally, the dog has long been cherished in Chinese tradition as a guardian and protector. Its bark is believed to ward off evil spirits, and its presence in households symbolizes safety and peace. The dog is also associated with justice, fairness, and fidelity. Unlike more complex or duplicitous zodiac animals, the dog is straightforward, wearing its heart plainly and defending those it loves. People born in the year of the dog are said to be loyal, sincere, and dependable. They value honesty above all, and while they may be cautious with strangers, their devotion to family and friends runs deep. However, this steadfastness can also lead to stubbornness, anxiety, or pessimism, especially when they feel their trust has been betrayed. The lore of the dog ultimately reminds us that loyalty is its own kind of strength. The dog may not have the dog may not have finished first in the race, but it endures as a symbol of faithfulness and protection. To be the dog is to embody courage and companionship, honesty in word and deed, and the enduring spirit of a guardian who stands watch at the threshold between danger and safety. Last time, baby, if y'all have been humoring me and my dyslexic ass, thank you so much. I really love to get into detail about things that I'm actually intrigued by, so hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Last sign here is Year of the Pig, so 1983 to 2019. The pig, 12th and final in the cycle of the Chinese zodiac, is a symbol of abundance, sincerity, and indulgence. Though it comes last in the order, the pig's place is not a mark of weakness but of contentment, an animal that is less concerned with competition and more attuned to the pleasures of life. In the legend of the zodiac race, the pig's lateness has a humorous cause. According to one version, the pig grew hungry during the journey and stopped to eat. After the meal, it grew sleepy and dozed off, only walking much later to rush toward the finish line. By then, the other 11 animals had already arrived, leaving the pig with the final spot in the cycle. This tale paints the pig not as lazy, but as a creature ruled by appetite, comfort, and an almost cosmic disregard for urgency. Culturally, the pig has long been associated with wealth and prosperity in China. Its round form and steady demeanor symbolize abundance, fertility, and good fortune. Far from being an insult to call someone a pig in this context is to acknowledge a life of ease, comfort, and generosity. Pigs are also linked to honesty and simplicity. They do not scheme or posture, but live straightforwardly, enjoying life as it comes. Those born under the year of the pig are said to be kind hearted, generous, and indulgent. They enjoy the finer things from good food to comfort, and they tend to attract luck through their warm and open nature. Yet their fondness for pleasure can sometimes make them complacent or overly trusting, leaving them vulnerable to being taken advantage of. Still, their sincerity and goodwill often win them the love of others. The lore of the pig closes the zodiac cycle with a reminder: life is not only about racing to the finish line, but about savoring the journey along the way. To be the pig is to embody generosity, comfort, and joy, to seek beauty in life's simple pleasures, and to end the cycle not in defeat, but in contentment.